All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, and yes, welcome back to the NBA. We got two games to kick us off in the 2025-26 NBA season. Normally, we're going to go through the entire slate, but today, we're going to be splitting these two games into two separate videos. So in this video, I'm diving into the Thunder and the Rockets game. I'm going to break it down. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, make sure to keep an eye down on the pinned comment. That's where you'll find all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3, 4 more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. Comment. And with the return of the NBA season, is the return of the ride of the day. Let's go. Guys, if you don't know what the ride of the day is, if you're perhaps new and you don't know what I'm talking about here, it's just something really simple but fun and unique that we do here on the channel that involves you guys watching right now. All you have to do is use that hashtag ride of the day down in the comments. I jump on board with one person's play each and every day and give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. Now, obviously, we hope you win. If you do, we continue to roll and ride with your play and let you go on a little bit of a streak. If you lose, you still do get the shout out, but no one wants to be shouted out for a loss, right? And yeah, you got to face the womp womp on the soundboard. So get those hashtag ride of the days down in the comments. Guys, if I'm mumbling and jumbling, I'm sorry. I'm just excited. So I'll get ahead of it now. I might be mumbling and jumbling aplenty here. Go ahead and comment mumble jumble down in the comments. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's jump into it. We got the Thunder taking on the Rockets. Thunder 7.5-point favorites, obviously coming off of a championship season. Total in this one is sitting at 227.5. Now, I do want to address some of the lineup changes / injuries. We'll start with injuries here on the Houston side of things. Capella, probable. Eason, probable. Jayshawn Tate, questionable. Dorian Finney-Smith, doubtful. And then, if you don't know, Fred VanVleet out, most likely missing the entire season. On the OKC side of things, Caruso is questionable. Isaiah Joe's questionable. You have Mitchell questionable. And Jalen Williams, yes, the second best player on this team, questionable. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And then you have Kendrick Williams also listed as out there. But yes, the Jalen Williams is going to be something that we definitely want to keep an eye on throughout the day. I think that is a massive, massive piece that we are still waiting on here. Now, I mentioned some lineup changes and some new guys. Who more notable than Kevin Durant now making his Rockets debut? And this is going to be an interesting lineup because right now, depending on what site you look at and everything like that, this is a very interesting starting lineup. Amen Thompson at the 1, Durant, Jabari Smith, Sengun, and then Steven Adams at the 5. It's like, that is a massive lineup, you know what I mean? So we'll see if that's the type of thing that we continue to see, I guess you could say, throughout the year. But overall, I mean, needless to say, that is just a massive, massive lineup. On the OKC side of things, not much has changed, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the 1, Lou Dort at the 2, Williams, if he plays, listed at the 3 here, Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein at the 4 and the 5. Now, what I want to talk about here, usually we're going to go through the side first, but I kind of want to start talking about the total because these are two of, obviously, the better teams in the league defensively just from a year ago. Now, what you're looking at here is the Guy Boston Sports NBA dashboard. If you guys want access to it, it's free right now. Go ahead and check it out, GuyBostonSports.com. Head to the members area, NBA dashboard. You can check it out, no subscription, no nothing, for free for the first week of the NBA season. The thing I want to note here is you obviously have two of the top defenses in the entire league. OKC, third fewest points allowed a year ago. Houston, 6th. And from a scoring perspective, where they like to shoot from, it was mostly in the paint and in the mid-range, which is very interesting, right? You have a Houston team that did take a lot of mid-range jumpers. Now adding a Durant, he probably flows right into it. Also, points in the paint. You can see two decent enough points in the paint defenses. So I do want to start with the total and say I think this one, we struggle to get over that number, 227.5. Now, before I really make my claim and stake my claim on it, it's the beginning of the NBA season. We're looking at last year's data. Plenty has changed. These teams have changed. you want to be conservative, you want to be light heading into the year while we gather some data, okay? So I'm not going to tell you you're an idiot right now if you're like, nah, man, I like the over. Sure, by all means, you might be coming at some angles that make sense. For me, I do think that defense will rise to the top in this spot, especially as Durant gets acclimated to playing here. The Thunder, obviously, maybe a potential championship hangover, right? I just think that we could see some points being struggled to score early. Am I saying that these two teams are going to stink? It's going to be like a 65-59 game? Hell no. These are obviously very good teams. You got Shea, you got obviously Durant, you have Şengün, you have a Holmgren, you have a bunch of guys that can go off in this game. So if you're on that over, I'm not trying to tell you no. I do think that the fact that we have two defenses that are pretty good against the mid-range, first and foremost, and pretty good down low, you can see it in our NBA dashboard here. Oklahoma City against the mid-range and in the restricted area, and Houston in the mid-range and in the restricted area / in the paint. Both of these teams are pretty damn sturdy, and obviously OKC, the number one team in terms of points in the paint allowed last year. I do really like it. From another perspective, so say these two teams do get into the lane and they're like, oh crap, I can't score here, we have to kick it out. One, well, look at this, catch and shoot. Houston is a phenomenal catch and shoot team. OKC, honestly, from a frequency perspective, not the best. I mean, guys weren't really doing it against them, but from an effective field goal percentage, they're one of the better defensive teams from a catch and shoot perspective as well. So even if these guys get into the lane, realize, oh my God, it's going to be pretty tough to score down here. You know, Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, you got Şengün, you got Jabari Smith, you got Steven Adams. There's some trees down there, right? And they try and kick it out. You have some really good closeout defense on each side as well. So that's where I don't see either team really having the easiest of time scoring. Now, OKC played at a top 5 clip in terms of pace last year, especially at home. Yeah, that could worry me, but again, I do think the under is going to be the spot in which we look at in this one. From a side perspective, I mean, is it too early to sound the psycho alert alarm? I like the idea of getting 7.5 points in my back pocket on opening night. If this is a low scoring game and you have Durant to now match anything that, you know, Shea can do offensively, I think that they can keep this one fairly close, and I do think Houston is going to be a very good defensive team this year. My only concern with them keeping this game close, and by the way, guys, I will obviously be transparent like I always am. I like that under more than I do the side, but it's still early in the year too. If you're like, dude, the Thunder are going to roll them, I'm not going to really sit here and argue. At this point in the year, I always tell you, if you're having a beer with a buddy and he says, hey, I like this, and you call him an idiot for liking that play, you're probably the idiot because there's not enough to go off of, right? You don't need to be saying that stuff. But one thing that I will say is, kind of lost my train of thought here, I do think that this is going to be a slow scoring game, or low scoring game. My one concern is that Oklahoma City starts to run, and that big lineup I just talked about from Houston, they start to think, okay, well, how the hell are we going to do this, right? Because that lineup that they have slated to start right now does not scream, let's play the transition game with you. So that could get a little bit dicey, but I do think that they'll be able to slow them down. So again, I like the under in this spot. I also like the idea of Houston plus the 7.5 points. What am I more likely to roll with as a final play? I will say the under for sure. Now, guys, before we do dive into a few player props that I'm liking, let me talk to you about Underdog. They have a Durant 0.0, flat 0 points, rebounds, and assist line. All he needs is one of those stats to cash, and boom, you cash that square. Go ahead and check it out. That link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Oh, and new customers, you can play $5 over on Underdog and get $100 instantly in bonus entries. $5, $100 free. Are you kidding me? If you're not racing to click the link down in the description, as well as the pinned comment, or scanning the QR code on your screen, you're missing out on a free $100. Say you cash the entry that, you know, you use that play $5 get $100 thing, you still get that as well. So you're on your way to building a nice little bankroll over there. Go ahead and check it out. Again, that link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Let's talk about player prop number 1 that I'm liking here. I mentioned how this is a pretty damn big team and big starting lineup that Houston's going to roll out. I like the idea of Alpi Şengün here. Over 8.5 rebounds. Last year, he hit it in 73% of games. On the road, he hit it in 76% of games. If we look at him head-to-head here against the Thunder, he's hit it in 3 of the last 4 now. In this one, not exactly all that great. He only had 8 potential rebounds, right? Or rebound chances, I should say. Not exactly what we want to see, but this is a Thunder team that was bottom 10 overall in terms of preventing rebounding last year. A little bit better against power forward and the center position, but I do think that this is going to be a spot in which he grabs 9 boards. You can get that from -125 over on ESPN right now. The reason being is, like I said with this dashboard, guys, this OKC team likes to shoot near the paint, and same thing with Houston. A lot of the times when guys are shooting near the paint and say they're missing, the bigger guys on the squad are going to get the rebound, right? And this is a Şengün that I think will get some 5 minutes in this game. I think he'll play the majority of the 4 minutes. So I like the idea of him to get 9 boards. Again, he crushed this line just a year ago. So I think this is a decent enough spot, averaging 10.4 rebounds per game last year. Without Van Fleet, I guess we can say that it's not too relevant, but it does go up, right? 11.06. So that's nice. The last 2 games, 14 in each of those. He hasn't played the Thunder without Van Fleet here either. But if this kind of sticks to where I think it's going to be in somewhat of a low-scoring game, grinded out type game, I like the idea of some missed shots and Şengün not getting run out of the gym via transition. Now, the second one, feel kind of bad taking this one because I do think he's going to have a decent year. But to start, I think this line's a little bit too high. It's going to be Tari Eason. He is questionable to play, so he might not even play. But I like his under 14.5 points plus rebounds. By the way, guys, I wanted to jump in here and let you know that the tool we're using right now is called Outlier. It is one of my favorite player prop research tools out there. Go ahead and check it out. That link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. 7-day free trial for the start of the NBA season. Go ahead and check it out. This thing is electric for NHL, for NFL, for MLB, but NBA is my baby, and I absolutely love what they've done with this tool. So go check it out. Again, 7-day free trial. Link down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Rebounds. If this wasn't plus 100, I might not like it as much. I'd probably play it to that -115 number, but my whole thought process here is how many minutes is he going to get? Now, he stayed under this line in barely any games last year, right? Only 39%. But if we say, hey, you're only going to play, 20 minutes, look at this. He stayed under in 79% of games when he only played 21 or less minutes. 82% of games when it was 20. I don't necessarily see with the new addition of Durant and, even Steven Adams being re-signed, Jabari Smith potentially having more of a workload this year. I don't see Eason having the easiest of time getting on and staying on the floor. He seems a little bit duplicative to me. But again, I'm not saying he's going to go out there and stink. I think that this could get a little dicey. I don't mind his points either, by the way, if you want to take the under there. But that plus 100 really did jump out to me, and I think we're getting it at a good time. You could see here all throughout today and yesterday, this moved from the line we have down to 13.5 and back up to 14.5. I'm trying to snag that under at 14.5, kind of at a high point there. Against the Thunder, you could see he stayed under in those 2 games, but even when he played more and more minutes, which this game I believe he played a few more minutes. He had 24 minutes played here. He had 11 points plus rebounds. In terms of rebound chances, yeah, he might go out there and get 4 rebounds, but field goals, he could go out there and shoot 2 of 8 again, and we might be well on our way. So those are 2 player prop spots that I'm liking here in this spot as well. I will add any player props that we like throughout the day and stuff to the final plays down in the pinned comment. Those are the 2 that I have as of right now. I don't really want to take any chances on the Thunder side of things, not knowing if we're going to see Jalen Williams or not. So that's going to be something that I'm monitoring. But if I do add anything to the final plays, I'll make sure to give a little blurb or bullet point as to why I like it, so you know if you want to ride with it or if you do want to fade it. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below, comment 13. You made it pretty much 13 minutes in. Unlucky number to start off the season with the comment number of the day, but you know what? Let's roll with it. Comment 13 down below. I am so damn excited for this NBA season. Let's go. I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.